The Vigilant Citizen. Let's check out this article. How the movie Contagion laid the blueprint for the coronavirus outbreak. In the midst of the coronavirus panic, the 2011 movie Contagion became one of the most watched movies online. Here's a look at the main themes of the movie and how they are becoming a reality in 2020. As coronavirus spreads fear and panic across the world, streaming services have been observing a spike of interest in the 2011 movie Contagion, starring Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Lawrence Fishburne. The movie follows the outbreak of a deadly virus called MEV-1 and its disastrous impacts on society. Needless to say, in today's context, Contagion is not a comforting watch. In fact, the whole coronavirus situation is already making you anxious. You should probably avoid Contagion, because it will only make things worse. In fact, the slogan of the movie is "Nothing spreads like fear." Isn't this just exactly what's happening right now? There is nothing that is affecting everyone except fear. People get sick all of the time. When this first started to happen, I thought it was a bioweapon released out of a lab in Wuhan, and it still possibly could be that, but I just think it's, from what I've seen and some of the research I've done so far, I just think it's fake. I believe that the people that are coming down and being sick, that they're just sick with various forms of the flu, and the media is using all of this to promote fear and shut down the economy so that they can have something to talk about come election time and they can get Trump out of office. That's the most obvious thing that I can see at this point. But let's get back to the article. And that is basically the goal of the movie, to scare and to educate. Over 8 years ago, I wrote the article Contagion, How Disaster Movies Educate the Masses, where I highlighted the main messages of this movie and the blueprint it lays out for future epidemics. Back in 2012, I found it important to analyze this movie because it is not simply a scary thriller. In fact, there is nothing entertaining about that movie. It is an educational video. It is an ultra-realistic depiction of a massive pandemic outbreak that takes place in real locations and that involves real organizations. Indeed, while the movie was directed by Steven Soderbergh, its narrative was shaped with input from the World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control, and various specialists. Ask yourself why these institutions would be putting their propaganda into, their advisors on the film so that they can tell them how the diseases work and all that stuff. But I think that they're just implementing mind control. That is a big thing in Hollywood, is planting seeds for casting spells onto people and putting out predictive programming and all of that wonderful stuff. Here's an excerpt from an interview with Contagion writer Scott Z. Burns about the involvement of these organizations in the making of the movie. Were you able to get in touch with anyone from the World Health Organization? Yes, I went to CDC in Atlanta a number of times. We actually shot part of the movie there, and we did have a lot of conversations with the World Health Organization throughout the process. Larry Brilliant and Dr. Lipkin helped us a lot in terms of reaching out to WHO, so they were very aware of the movie. In fact, we shot part of the movie there as well. The scene where Marion Cotillard walks into the office in Geneva. Coming soon, CS interview Contagion writer Scott Z. Burns. To put things in context, the movie came out a couple of years after the H1N1 crisis in 2008. After months of panic and mass vaccination campaign, some studies show that the WHO and the CDC grossly overestimated the number of actual H1N1 cases and pushed a vaccine that many deemed unnecessary. A movie like Contagion was a good remedy for this tarnished credibility. In 2020, the world faces another major epidemic scare, and Contagion becomes relevant again. Not only that, but mass media has also been casting a solid spotlight on it. For me, rewatching Contagion was fun until it wasn't. Some of us have turned to the 2011 movie by Steven Soderbergh to see just how bad things can get. This is from a critic's notebook. A recent headline from the New York Times about Contagion. So, is Contagion accurate? Yes, more than ever. Let's look at the main themes of the movie and how they are becoming a reality in 2020. The movie begins by showing the various ways a virus can spread across the world in a matter of days. A guy who is feeling sick in Tokyo takes public transportation and he's touching things, and the population of Tokyo is 36.6 million. Soon after, the virus reaches the United States and all hell breaks loose. Gwyneth Paltrow dies in a horrific manner, causing the viewers to be extra scared. Well, I don't think I'd be too scared seeing celebrities die, but... In Contagion, the public is depicted as rather idiotic and prone to panic. Panicked people raid a pharmacy. This is real. This panic is very real. I went over to Costco just to see what the line was going to be like before it opened, and it's still wrapped around the building. I mean, we're more than a week into... I guess you'd say almost 2 weeks into this as far as the initial panic was concerned. And now people, it's just kind of spreading. I don't think, from what I know, that the stores are going to run out of the essentials like food, because people are going wild over toilet paper. I don't understand this. There are many other things to be concerned about than toilet paper. But hey, whatever. This is the weird world that we live in. In 2020, the coronavirus outbreak causing massive lines in stores as people stockpile various items. The first thing I got was canned food. I was like, dude, I'm going to get a month's worth of canned food just in case things run out and the panic gets to a point that, you know, some canned food would come in handy, but whatever. Buying tons of toilet paper in California, what people do when they're scared but are not sure what to do. I mean, look, they're buying toilet paper and they're buying water. Are they going to shut off the water? And is there no other way you can't like just jump in the shower if you ever did run out of toilet paper? I mean, the worst case scenario here is that you're going to have to jump in the shower after you take a dump, and you're going to have to drink filtered water. I mean, can people not go and get filters? Don't most refrigerators have a filter in them that lasts about 6 months, sometimes 3 months on the short end? I mean, this is just so weird. It shows you how much power the media has on people to just send them into a panic and to get stuff that that isn't critical to live. Okay. In Contagion, as MEV1 spreads in the United States, the American government flees to an undisclosed location and looks for a way of working online. In real life, the coronavirus scare has already reached the White House, as several representatives, including Trump, were reportedly in contact with disease carriers. There are also plans for working online. Trump administration wants hundreds of thousands of federal workers to be ready to telework full-time, a recent headline from the Washington Post. So, in Contagion, the American government basically goes into hiding and specific organizations take over, which happen to be the organizations that helped to create the movie. This is all just propaganda for FEMA and the CDC. The CDC, Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, and FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the U.S. Army. Soon after, the state of Minnesota is placed in quarantine. The U.S. Army controls the flow of traffic in Minnesota and blocks those who attempt to leave the state. While in 2011, the concept of putting entire states in quarantine was a fictional yet plausible scenario, it became a reality in 2020, as you might know. The entire country of Italy is currently in lockdown. Italy expands its quarantine to the entire country as coronavirus cases and deaths surge. It is also beginning to happen in the United States as the National Guard was sent to New Rochelle to help contain a cluster of infections. Coronavirus. New York creates containment area around cluster in New Rochelle. In Contagion, things go way further than containment. The government declares martial law and people are directed to FEMA camps. Civilians, even healthy ones, have their rights revoked and are directed to FEMA camps, where they are fed and lodged. In this scene, the lack of individual meals to feed all of the camp's population causes a small riot. Mass vaccination campaign. After months of horror, panic, and death, a solution finally arrives: a vaccine. As soon as a vaccine is developed for MEV1, vaccination centers pop up across the world. In 2020, the ultimate solution to eradicate coronavirus will likely take the form of a vaccine as well. Israeli-made oral vaccine for coronavirus on track, but testing will take months. Oh, look at that, everybody. The Jews have a solution. Let's trust them and do whatever they say. It's not like they own Hollywood and the government and have been responsible for many wars, pretty much all the wars in recent history, and I can really get more into that as far as, are these people really Jews or are they crypto Jews? And I don't really want to chase that rabbit right now, but hey, Israeli made us all a vaccine. Let's jump on board. Oh man. State-funded Miguel Galilei Institute has been working for 4 years on a vaccine that could be customized for various viruses, so it had a head start when COVID-19 emerged. I'm sure that they haven't been planning for this all along, but whatever. Let's just trust Israel because why not? A recent headline from the Times of Israel about a possible coronavirus vaccine. In Contagion, the vaccine is not only encouraged, it is mandatory. People who got vaccinated receive a bracelet with a barcode. Oh, doesn't that sound like the mark of the beast? Those who wear the bracelet are allowed to go to public places such as shopping malls. Those who do not get vaccinated cannot go anywhere and they ultimately die. And some people refuse to get vaccinated. They're going to force you to take a vaccine and then they're going to slap a barcode on your right hand. Look at this. This is the mark of the beast. Okay, it's in the Bible it talks about taking the mark of the beast. It's going to be either on your right hand or on your forehead. And you cannot buy or sell without the mark of the beast, okay? An important part of the plot in Contagion involves a conspiracy theorist, played by Jude Law, who rants against the vaccine. The conspiracy theorist runs a blog called Truth Serum that is followed by millions of readers. The blogger claims that a cure for the MEV1 virus actually exists, but it is repressed by the powers that be to sell vaccines. He also urges his readers to not take the vaccine that is given out by authorities. In Contagion, the conspiracy theorist is depicted as a shady person with a questionable work ethic. The scientific community despises him, as one scientist tells him, "Blogging is not writing, it's graffiti with punctuation." The blogger is then set up by an undercover agent and gets arrested for security fraud, conspiracy, and most likely manslaughter. This is the thing about movies, is they're putting so much truth in these movies because this is exactly what they do to people. This is exactly what they do. They frame them for crimes and they throw them in prison. And they throw it out in so many freaking movies. If you guys ever seen that movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and who's that whore that played Julia Roberts? She was in that movie where she was that one dude's whore, and a Pretty Woman. That's it. That's the one. But anyway, Conspiracy Theory. That the guy in that movie is an MK. Mel Gibson plays an MK Ultra agent. And the entire movie is based on MK Ultra mind control, and it's all true. A lot of this now, obviously, like the characters in the situation aren't true. It's a fictional movie, but everything that is within that movie, the stuff they talk about, the programs they talk about, they even name the program in the movie. It's a way to really brainwash people into thinking that, oh, this stuff, this isn't real. It's in a movie, so they associate it with being like, oh, that's an entertaining concept, but it's not real. Oh. In the end, it is discovered that the blogger was a fraud and that he made $4.5 million off his false cure for MEV1. In short, the movie tells us, the viewers, that the government did the right thing by arresting the blogger. Look, guys, the conspiracy nutjob who's telling you not to take vaccines that are being forced on you by the government is an evil person who is going to scam you out of money. Isn't that hilarious that they put that out there? In 2020, the fight against conspiracy theories about coronavirus is definitely on the agenda. Here are some recent headlines. Russia has been accused by the U.S. of spreading conspiracy theories that coronavirus is a biological weapon created by the CIA, and now the UK has set up a unit to fight them. How do you fight Russian conspiracy theories? They're going to set up a unit to fight Russian conspiracy theories that don't exist? This is hilarious. Coronavirus and the plague, the disease of viral conspiracy theories. Hey guys, the people who are calling this a hoax are conspiracy theorists because they're saying that an infection rate of about in the tens of thousands. I think the worldwide infection rate right now is below 100,000. I could be wrong. It could be around that. And the deaths worldwide are like 3,000 maybe. And they're saying that you're a conspiracy theorist if you're saying that this is a fake pandemic. Okay? People, there's already been 20,000 deaths from the flu. Okay? The flu kills the Planned Parenthood. Doesn't Planned Parenthood kill like 1,000 babies a day? Or I think it's actually a lot more than that, but whatever. We're all conspiracy theorists, everybody. If you're watching this video, you're a dangerous conspiracy theorist for believing that the mainstream media is lying to you and that a vaccine is good for you and that the people who profit off of treating the people who profit off of sickness are going to make you sick. That's a conspiracy theory, everybody. That's all crazy. It's all crazy. The medical field, they're all about curing disease, and they want people to be permanently cured so that they can't make any more money. And this is what we see. Don't we see people that aren't sick anymore? I mean, isn't disease a thing of the past? Or are we living in a time where sickness and disease is at an all-time high? But whatever. Coronavirus, the plague, the disease of viral conspiracy theories. Watch out, everybody. Coronavirus is a breeding ground for conspiracy theories, and that has serious consequences. You guys better not believe any conspiracy theories, or there will be serious consequences. Conspiracy theorists blame U.S. for coronavirus. China is happy to encourage them. Oh, more conspiracy nonsense. As I explained back in 2012, the aim of Contagion was not to entertain, but to educate. It lays a blueprint for the process that needs to take place when an epidemic arises: fear and panic, breakdown of social order, control and lockdowns, social distancing, mandatory solution, and repression of those who oppose it. While, in 2020, things might not go as far as in Contagion, let's hope not, the movie mentally prepares people for what could happen. And therein lies the awesome power of mass media to shape and mold society on a global level. Oh, right, everybody. So you should probably just ignore all of this information because it's just crazy, nutty conspiracy. And you know what? Oh, here is a great video by The Scariest Movie Ever. If you guys check this dude's channel out, he has some great videos that will red pill your friends, or if you want some more information on not just coronavirus, but many other things that have to do with what's really going on in the world, check him out. So he did this video on the coronavirus where he points out the number 33. Now I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of what 33 is significant. So in Freemasonry, which is a secret society, the number 33, they have 33 degrees in Freemasonry, and they use the number 33 as a code. So it's like a signature. Whenever you see 33 posted everywhere, it's a secret society's signature on an event, or whatever they could be doing, and it's a signal to other people within the secret society so that they know what's going on. So he points out the significance of 33. So if you don't know that, you can just watch this video. It's pretty good. But he goes over all of the articles of the coronavirus. Well, first he spends the first half pointing out the significance of the number 33 to these weirdos, and then he points out all of these headlines. Check this out. Bill Gates, global pandemic will wipe out 33 million people in 1 year. And then we have Louisiana now has 33 cases, coronavirus, 33. Business activity in China is at 33%. of its pre-coronavirus norm. Now, if you're wondering, well, like, why don't they use other numbers? Why do they keep using the number 33? Because this is a message to everybody else in the secret society that this is one of their operations. MRT3 allows only 30 to 33 passengers per train. Oop. COVID-19, 33 cases in Colorado as of 3 p.m., March 11th. That's more signaling. 3 more coronavirus patients die, 33 new cases. So you have 3 and then 33. Egypt confirms another 33 COVID-19 cases. Do you find this a little bit strange? California monitoring 8,400 people for coronavirus. 33 have tested positive. Colorado, California, China imposes travel restrictions on 33 million people. Why not 40 million people? Why not 32 million people? Why not 34 million people? No, it's 33. No signs of coronavirus in 33 who returned from Wuhan. Wow, 33 people returned? Chinese doctors released chest scans of a 33-year-old coronavirus patient. Coronavirus, 7 new cases in Bahrain, total up to 33. Update, coronavirus cases in India rise to 33. DHS says 33 people in Wisconsin have tested positive for coronavirus. How come it's 33 people? How come it's not 29? How come it's not 34? It's exactly 33. Don't people find this a little strange? 16 new coronavirus cases confirmed in Colorado brings first sign of limited community spread. And then you have total number of tests confirmed corona cases in Colorado rises to 33. Thai coronavirus cases up by 33 in country's biggest daily jump. Coronavirus cases in Maharashtra reached 33. Coronavirus cases in New York State increases to 33. Coronavirus disease. South Korea reports 516 new COVID-19 cases, total now at 5,328. Death toll rises by 4 to 33. COVID-19, 10 new cases are close contacts of case 33. 2 positive coronavirus cases reported in Amritsar. Total in India amounts to 33. And then he goes over some more of the magic that's going on here. This is all part of a spell that these people put out in the world. Spell casting. If you guys look into Hollywood, Hollywood is a big part of this. A lot of what they do is very satanic. Hollywood, the name Hollywood comes from the holly tree. Okay, the holly tree was used by druids and witches to make their wands and to cast spells with. Part of casting spells, a lot of it is just making people believe something that's not true. Okay, if you can change somebody's reality, you're casting a spell on them. All right, people. We watched so many movies that have a lot of witchcraft in them that we kind of relate spellcasting to an actual like magical thing that's happening in a that's not in reality. But the reality of spellcasting is simply casting a spell on somebody and making them believe something that's not true. Okay, and they load it all with predictive programming. They load it all with numerology. It's very interesting stuff to get into. But I'm going to end this one here. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. God bless.